Okay guys, welcome to the light fade tutorial. Now with every haircut I like to start by combing through the hair, making sure that I don't detect any differences in the hair growth pattern so I don't get any surprises throughout the haircut. So comb all the way through your client's hair. The very first step that I took is I took my Oster 10s and I put the 1.5 guard on, going against the grain and halfway down the sides and the back of the hair. I like to start at the top. I know most people like to start from the bottom and work up. I like to start from the top and work down. I want to make sure that I'm cutting evenly all the way through and not leaving any patches. It just makes for a smoother fade. In this next step, what you want to do is you want to take your Oster 10s and your OA blade and you want to come halfway up the side of the head. If you remember, we took the 1.5 and we came halfway down the side. Now we're going to take this OA and meet it right where that 1.5 stopped. If you don't have the OA blade for the Oster 10s, you can take your Wahl Seniors and open the blade all the way up and that will give you that OA effect. Or you can take your Andis Masters and open them all the way up and then put that lever up one notch and that will also give you that OA effect. Just make sure that you cut evenly all the way through, not to leave any patches, so that you have a nice smooth fade. For this step, we're going to take the Oster 10s once again and take the 1A and begin blending it into the top where the 1.5 is. And this will start our blending process. Once again, we're going to use the 1A from the Oster 10s. If you do not have a 1A, take your Wahl Seniors, put a 1 guard on, close your Seniors up. That will give you a 1A, or your Andis Masters. And that will also give you a 1A by putting your 1 guard on there. In this step, we're going to be taking our Wahl Seniors. If you have the red Speedo guides, it'll be a 00, and we're going to close the Wahl Seniors all the way up and begin blending out this line. If you're using wall guards, it's going to be your smallest wall guard, and if you're using the Andis Master guards, it's going to be the smallest Andis Master guard. As you can now start to see, our fade is really starting to take form. What we want to do now is take our Wahl Seniors, open the blade all the way up, and gently begin to remove that line. So we're going to stay on the line, but gently, not pressing too hard, creating another line. Gently removing that line, because we have one more step to go where we'll really start to get that line out. In this next step, we're going to take our Oster Fastfeeds with the Andis Zero Guard with our Fastfeeds closed, and continue to blend this line out, and you'll start to see that it really begins to smooth out. In this last step, we're going to really fade this line out. Now we're going to take our Wahl Seniors, once again opening them all the way up, and now just detailing and fading this line all the way out. You see, I'm just staying right where that line is at, just fading it all the way out now. We're now ready to start our shape up. As you see, that's the corner of the eyebrow, but that would take out too much of his hairline, so I'm just going to start right where his hairline is at. I love to start in the corners first and then work my way over. So I like to create my corner and then go to the middle and work my way out, back out to the corners. As you can see in this corner, I'm staying right where his hairline is, trying not to push back his hairline. In some instances you will have to. I chose this hairline because it does present some challenges. You'll see once I get to the front of the hairline. I know a lot of barbers, they've had tutorials where they have perfect hairlines, but you're going to see a lot of challenges as a barber. I'm now going to start in the middle of the hairline and work my way back out to the corners. The middle, you always want to start in the middle because it gives you the most accuracy in keeping the hairline even. I just like to create my corners and then go back and start in the middle. Now I'm going to take my middle guide and take it over to my corners. As you see, I had to move his hairline just a little bit, but I am going to connect them both. He has somewhat of a rainbow hairline, but I didn't want it to look like a rainbow. I tried to straighten it out just a little bit, and you'll see once the hairline is finished how it came out. It came out really good though. Okay, now I'm back to the middle of the hairline, working my way out to the other corner, following my clipper blade as the guide. And I'm pulling the hairline just a little bit where my thumb is at, just so I can make sure that I get all those hairs to create a nice clean line. Don't pull it too much, because then you'll be creating more work for yourself. Just pull it just a little bit. Now I'm going to take my T-Outliners and begin to shape up the back of his sideburn and around his ears and down the back of his neck. I love to use my outliner 2s along the front and then my T-Outliners along the back of the sideburn down the neck. What I want you to notice is I'm using the corners of my T-Outliners to create the line, similar to drawing something in with a pencil. The corner of my clippers become the pencil, staying on his hairline, not to push his hairline back, because it will be nice and clean around his ears, just using the point of my T-Outliners. Now that I've done the one side of the back of his neck, I'm going to show you the other side, and staying on his hairline, keeping his hairline as natural as possible on the back. You have a better angle on this side to see that I'm staying on his hairline. I'm not moving his hairline in. I'm keeping it as natural as possible, creating a nice, smooth, and clean line. I'm pulling his shoulders back now and putting his head down so that I can get in those hard to reach areas of the neck. So when you have children, if you pull their shoulders back and put their head down, and even some adults, this helps to get in those tough areas of the back of their hairline to clean up all that hair. I'm now going to take and connect the bottom of his neck to the sides, making sure that I keep it rounded and staying as natural as possible on his hairline. What you'll see is I'm going to turn his head in just a bit. I love to turn the head because when you turn it, you can see where it kind of blocks out, and then you can make it nice and round, so even when they turn, it's nice and round. We're now going to be starting the side of the hairline. As you see, I'm getting ready to put in my corner. With the point of my outliner 2s, I'm drawing that in, and then I'm going to clean it up so I get a nice sharp point. As you see, I'm cleaning it up right now. Next, I'm coming up his hair, up his sideburn, just cleaning those hairs up so I have a nice clean line. and then you'll see me take the point of my outliner 2s and begin the process of connecting that sideburn with that top point that I made earlier. As you see, I moved his hairline at the bottom where that curve starts just a little bit, so that it's a nice arc and nice and clean. Not moving his hairline, using my thumb, pulling his skin just a little bit, so that I make sure that I get all those hairs and make sure it's nice and clean. I'm going to do the same process on the other side. I'm going to speed this video up just a little bit because you've had a chance to watch me do it on the one side. Now I'm going to do it on this side, doing the same process using the point of my outliner 2s and connecting the top of the sideburn to that corner that I've created. Here's the finished product. I want to thank you guys for watching. Peace.